Hola, buenos días. Aquí estoy, Jeff Forney, con Jefe Tico Tours. We are starting episode 2 of Hey Alexa, Learn Spanish. Alexa will be here in just a moment. Hola, Alexa, buenos días.
Hola, buenos días.
¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, gracias a Dios. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Alexa, ¿y tú?
Me llamo Jeff. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Igualmente. ¿Igualmente?
Igualmente, correcto, sí.
Igualmente. Okay.
Igualmente, correcto. Bueno, yesterday I asked you if you could get a picture of somebody you live with.
Yes. Do you have it or do you want me to get
I
my
actually do have it. Yes, I do. So you sent it to me. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me share our screen and we'll start working on that because we got 9 minutes. So, all right. So I took that picture, but I wasn't sure if he gave you permission. So I copied it and pasted it down here in the bottom of my document. So let me pull it up. I didn't want to use it in case he didn't give you permission. Here
Yeah.
and let me move that up to the right spot. Move that up to where we need it to be. There we go. There we go, right there. Bueno, so our new question for today is, so yesterday I asked you, just a little bit of review of yesterday. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Alexa.
¿Y dónde vive usted?
Yo vivo en Atlantic City.
Excelente, sí, muy bien. ¿Y vive en una casa o en un apartamento?
Vivo en un apartamento.
En un apartamento, sí, muy bien. En un apartamento. You learned that before, didn't you? Because I didn't teach you that.
No, I just listened very carefully because I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know. Okay, very good. So you just listened and you heard that sounded like apartment. Okay, muy bien. En un apartamento. So in a house, in an apartment. En un apartamento. Muy bien. So, ¿vive usted en una casa?
No.
No, correcto. Sí, muy bien. ¿Vive usted en un apartamento?
Sí.
Sí, muy bien. ¿Vive usted en una casa o en un apartamento?
Vivo en un apartamento.
Excelente, muy bien. ¿Y dónde vive usted?
Yo vivo en apartamento en Atlantic City.
Excelente, muy bien. And our new question, ¿con quién vive usted? Literally means with whom do you live? Now, do you remember where the do is?
Inside vive?
Yes, exactly right. So do and live go together because do is the helping verb for the main verb live. And in Spanish, we only have one verb. We don't have helping verbs. So do is part of live. So really what they say in Spanish is they say, where do live you? Okay. Where do live you is what they really say because this is where, I'm sorry, not where, with whom. This is with whom. This is do live. And this is the word that means you. Usted means you, and that's the formal word for you. And that's the word they use in Costa Rica. They don't use the informal. Okay, but of course in English, we don't say with whom do live you. We say with whom do you live. So we're going to fix it the way it should be. Okay, but that's how they say it. With whom live you. So, ¿con quién vive usted?
Yo vivo con Rob.
Muy bien. Very good. Very close. It's yo vivo. Yo vivo is I live. You got that part right. Not quien, con.
Oh, con.
With. Yo vivo con Rob. Muy bien. Y quién, remember quién?
Yeah, quién.
What does quién mean?
Whom?
Who. Good. Muy bien. ¿Quién is Rob?
Oh. Rob is my fiance?
¿Cómo?
My
Just
fiance?
in English and I'll tell you in Spanish.
Yeah.
Sí, mi esposo.
Mi esposo. That's cute.
Sí, so Rob is my husband. Sí, muy bien. And yo vivo con Rob is I live with Rob. And remember, and you remember to put the O at the end because the yo vivo makes it mean I live. Vive is he lives, she lives, or you live. Muy bien. So it says I live with Rob. That means it's almost time for us to be done. Bueno, so muy bien. So I'm going to recombine some of the words that we learned. So I taught you cómo se llama usted yesterday in episode 1. Cómo se llama usted, right?
Right.
Cómo se llama usted is what is your name. Now I'm going to ask cómo se llama él.
Oh.
Actually, I'm going to cut that. Cómo se llama él.
¿Cómo se llama él?
Uh-huh.
Él es Rob.
Or you could say él es Rob or él se llama Rob.
Él se llama Rob.
Right, so that would mean he calls himself. Because remember, it really means he calls himself. Él is he, llama is calls, and se is himself. Notice how it goes in the se comes in front of the verb, the himself. And I know you know that from learning German, that sometimes the word isn't in the right order. So él se llama Rob, and that means his name is Rob. But literally, it means he calls himself Rob. Okay. Now, the él, because we've established who we're talking about, is actually optional. You can just say, se llama Rob, and that will say, excuse me, his name is Rob. Se llama Rob. Él se llama Rob. Bueno, so now I'm going to start using similar sentences. I asked you, ¿dónde vive usted? Right? ¿Dónde vive usted? Where do you live? I live in. Now I can ask you, ¿dónde vive él? So, ¿dónde vive él?
Él vive en Atlantic City.
Exactly. See, muy bien. We're just starting to manipulate the words a little bit. Where do you live? Where does he live? And we'll eventually get to where does she live? Where do you guys live? So, oops. No. There we go. ¿Dónde vive él? Okay. Where does he live? Remember, the does is not there because does is the helping verb. It goes along with vive. So this means
Right.
where does live he. Okay, but in English we would say, where does he live? Bueno, where does he live? ¿Dónde vive él? Sí, muy bien. So, and the answer to that would be?
Se vive en Atlantic City.
Close, not se. That se is the word that means himself. And so what you want is the word for he.
Él.
Él
No.
vive
Él vive
in Atlantic City.
Él
Muy
vive
bien.
en Atlantic City.
Now, él vive in Atlantic City. There's a special word for with me. Usually it would be, con means with.
Right.
Conmigo is a special word. It means with me. There are very few contractions in Spanish. I think there's like 4 of them in total in the entire language, but this is one of them. So that means he lives in Atlantic City with me. Okay, so conmigo, all one word, means with me. Bueno, muy bien. Bueno, entonces, ¿cómo se llama él?
Él se llama Rob.
Muy bien. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Se llama Alexa.
Ajá, correcto. Except this is not se llamo, it's
Se
me.
llama. No.
Me
se
llamo.
llama.
Me llamo.
Me llamo.
Me llamo. Because remember, it's I call myself. The O at the end makes it mean I call, and the me is myself. So me llamo Alexa.
Me llamo Alexa.
Excelente, correcto. Sí, muy bien. So, ¿cómo se llama él?
Él se llama Rob.
Muy bien. ¿Quién es Rob?
Rob es mi esposo.
Excelente, muy bien. ¿Dónde vive usted?
Yo vivo en Atlantic City.
Ah, muy bien. ¿Y con quién vive usted?
Yo vivo con Rob en Atlantic City.
Ah, muy bien. ¿Y Rob es su esposo?
Sí.
Sí, correcto. Sí, muy bien. ¿Vive Rob en una casa o en un apartamento?
Él vivo en un apartamento.
Ah, sí, muy bien. Now you got to be careful because the yo vivo is correct.
Él vive.
El vive, right. We put an E at the end for when it's he lives or you live. It's an O at the end when it's I live. Sí, muy bien. So, él vive él. Now watch when I turn it into a question, it's vive él. Does he live? When you say he lives, you say él vive. See how you just change the words around?
Yeah.
This is the question. Does he live? Él vive, he lives. Yo vivo is I live. Donde vive usted? Vive usted is where do you live? That's the question. Okay, so donde vive usted?
Yo vivo en Atlantic City.
Muy bien. ¿Y dónde vive Rob?
Rob vive en Atlantic City conmigo.
Ah, excelente, muy bien. ¿Y vive Rob en un apartamento o en una casa?
Rob vive en un apartamento.
Ah, excelente, muy bien. ¿Vive Rob en un apartamento o en una casa?
En apartamento.
En un apartamento, muy bien. ¿Vive Rob con usted?
Sí.
Excelente, sí, muy bien. ¿Cómo se llama su esposo?
Mi esposo se llama Rob.
Excelente, correcto, sí, muy bien. Now, I skipped over something, but you understood it, and so I didn't need to teach it to you, but I want to point it out just in case. So I did a variation of ¿Cómo se llama él? What is his name? I said, I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm going to show you the variation because you understood it perfectly, but I want to make sure that everybody gets this. So I said, ¿Cómo se llama él? What is his name? And then I said, ¿Cómo se llama su esposo? What is your husband's name? Okay, so su means your. It can also mean his or her or their or its. So it has a lot of different meanings. And sometimes it becomes confusing in Spanish. And so we have to clarify. And in another class, I'll show you how to clarify that. So I said, ¿Cómo se llama su esposo? What is your husband's name? Okay. Bueno. And you responded perfectly correctly. Mi esposo se llama Rob, or mi esposo es Rob. Muy bien. Bueno, excelente. Bueno, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Me llamo Alexa.
Muy bien. ¿Y dónde vive usted?
Yo vivo en Atlantic City en un apartamento.
Excelente, correcto, muy bien. ¿Y cómo se llama su esposo?
Mi esposo se llama Rob.
Excelente, correcto, sí, muy bien. ¿Y dónde vive su esposo?
Mi esposo vive en Atlantic City conmigo.
Excelente, sí, muy bien. Vive en Atlantic City conmigo. Fantástico, muy bien hecho. Very nice job. Muy bien. And I think that's our 10 minutes for today. And tomorrow we'll just continue some more of that. Okay, we good? All right, I will see you tomorrow then. Adios until
Adios.
episode 3. Adios.